Go ahead, get nice and set up in that suitability down on the mat. If you're just joining us, go ahead and grab a hold of your blanket or a towel if you have so. Just have it prepped for later on in the class and then get it nice and doubled up just so that you have a bit of cushion for your knees for later on. And then set that off to your mat. We're going to start today in Supta, so you'll lay down onto your backs. Soles of your feet come together to touch and your knees open up nice and wide just like a book. You take both of your hands, your thumbs hook on top of your thighs, and as you push down on your legs, get your tailbone nice and heavy. So the idea is that the more that you push against your lower body, the more space you're going to grow in your lower spine. If you have any knee discomfort and you have yoga blocks, go ahead and prop them underneath. If you don't have blocks, that doesn't feel comfortable, go ahead, bring the soles of your feet down, knees facing up to the sky. Make sure you feel nice and safe. Otherwise, Supta, open up your arms however it feels comfortable. They can be on your torso, they can be open out wide. Go ahead, close your eyelids. We're going to take our inner gaze out between the eyebrows, our third eye center. And start to tune into that breath. So take a nice, long, deep breath. Inhale. Part the lips and exhale out the mouth. Again, breathe it in nice and deep, nice and slow. Take a long breath out, exhale. 2 more like that. Inhale. Exhale. And last one, breathe it in. Good, and breathe it out. Close your lips. Find that steady rhythm of breath, your inhalations rolling into your exhalations. Relax the muscles of your face. And if you so wish, this is a wonderful opportunity to make an intention for your practice. What do you need out of this Tuesday hour together? Once you have your intention, your message for yourself, take one more deep breath. Inhale. And a long exhale. Gently open up your eyes. You're going to cactus out your arms nice and wide. So like a field goal post shape, bending at the elbows 90 degrees. If you have the soles of your feet planted on the earth, I'll demo that later. But if you're in Supta, all you're going to do is take a hold of your right leg and then carry your right leg over towards center and then simply stack it on top of the left. Good, so you're in a very easy supine twist. Keep your right shoulder nice and heavy, and I want you to feel like someone has a hold of your right hip bone and they're gently starting to pull it down to the lower edge of the mat and away from you. Good. Take one more deep breath. Inhale. And exhale. Staying there. If you have your feet up like so, then simply drop them both to either side. Your knees don't need to be stacked. Any knee discomfort? Just bring the knees back to center. Good. Wherever you are, we have one more deep breath. Inhale. Very nice. As you exhale, go ahead, open your right leg all the way back out to the right. Find that Supta. Deep breath, inhale. And as we exhale, left leg comes all the way towards center and stack it on top of the right. Again, you really want to make sure that your left shoulder is nice and anchored. And the idea is that your hip is not only moving towards the right, but moving down away from you as well. And you'll get that nice elongation in your spine. Again, if your feet were stacked like so, just allow them to drift and the knees aren't stacked or stay lifted. We have one more round of breath. Breathe it in. Very nice. And breathe it out. Carry both legs back to center, soles of your feet down onto the earth. You're going to take both hands down by either sides, palms facing down. Go ahead and walk your feet a little bit closer to your glutes. See if you can take your hands and then brush your heels with your fingertips. If so, then you're pretty nice and set up. Not quite there, that's okay. Just start by lifting your toes up from the earth and imagine that your heels, even though they stay connected to the mat, imagine that they can drag back towards your head. Now, feel the hamstrings engaged to create that action. Good. From there, lower your toes back down to the earth. As you inhale, tuck your tailbone. Let's start to lift up into a bridge pose. Now, you might not come up too high, and that's okay. We're still warming up. The idea is that your heels are dragging back towards your heads. The hamstrings are engaged. The glutes are squeezing together. Your knees are moving further away from you. Take one more deep breath. Inhale. Now expand your belly nice and wide. And as we exhale from the top of your spine down, you're going to start to roll all the way back down to the mat. Very nice. Take a round of breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Let's try that a little bit quicker. As you inhale, lift your hips nice and high. Exhale, squeeze your glutes, activate your hamstrings. Now inhale, balloon out that belly, stretch it up to the ceiling. Exhale, roll back down your spine, connect to the mat. Deep breath, inhale here. Long breath out, exhale. Inhale, lift your hips, get that bridge pose. Exhale and hover. Deep breath, inhale, fill up your lungs, fill up your torso with air. Exhale, you release down, vertebrae reconnecting to the earth. Inhale on the mat. And exhale. Last time, deep breath, inhale, you lift your hips. Exhale and stay. Deep breath, inhale, lift your belly. And exhale, roll it all the way back down to the mat. Very nice. Pick up the soles of your feet up into the air. Have your feet a little bit wide, so it's as if they're just going to shy outside the sides of your torso. Option to grab the outside of your calves, maybe your ankles. Maybe you can reach up. Try grabbing the edges of your feet. Whatever version you have, find that happy baby. Now, I want you to imagine that there's a tailbone there's a grape underneath your tailbone, So there's a grape underneath your tailbone. I want you to squish it down so your tailbone is super heavy. If you'd like to get a little bit of movement in that happy baby, go ahead and do so. The idea is just to allow our hips and the inner thighs to kind of gently open up. So don't push into it too hard. Just allow that little bit of freedom of movement. Allow gravity to do the work for you. We have one more round of breath. Inhale. Very nice. And as you exhale, go ahead, hug both knees in towards your chest. Crossing at the ankles, tucking your chin in towards your knees. Go ahead and start to rock up and down your spine. Rocking back and forth. Massage out that spine. We were just warming up. And then maybe you get that momentum, you come all the way forward to seated position. Beautiful. So if you have a hold of your blanket, your towel, go ahead and grab a hold of it. And we're just going to open it up. Have it nice and doubled so it's thick and cushiony. And place it right in the middle of your mat. If you have your blocks, have them on their highest height, top of your mat, just ready to go. Plant your palms underneath your wrists. And then wrists are stacked underneath your elbows to your shoulders. Very important, nice long line of energy. Knees are underneath your hips. Go ahead, let's start to warm up that spine. As you inhale, drop your belly, tilt your tailbone, take a nice gaze up to the ceiling. As you exhale, we're gonna push against that ground and round out our back nice and deep. 2 more like that. We breathe it in, we arch our spine. We breathe it out and we round. 1 more, deep breath, inhale. Very nice. And a long breath out. Exhale, round out that spine. Find your neutral spine, nice flat back. Tuck your toes underneath your body. Take a nice deep breath. Inhale into your lower belly. As you exhale, we're going to right away lift our hips and find our downward facing dog. Good. So in that down dog, let's get some movement. Go ahead, pedal out your knees. Move your hips a little bit from side to side. And then take that glance back at your hands. Make sure that you're still evenly pressing down through every single digit of your finger, especially the index finger and the thumb. The more you push down into those 2 fingers, the more pressure you'll take out of your outer wrist. Stay nice and protected. Good. When you're ready, let's come to stillness. Make sure that your feet are hip-width distance apart, so about 2 fists between. Then we're going to rotate our arms so that our biceps are facing forward and our triceps are facing back. Make sure that there's space between your ear and your shoulder, so we're not shrugging up, we're not tense in the upper body. Nice and relaxed. Think about almost shrugging your shoulders back towards your hips. Very nice. Take a nice deep breath in. And out. From there, let's take some heel lifts. Inhale, just lift your heels nice and high. As you exhale, ground your heels back down. 2 more. Inhale, lift your heels. And exhale, lower. Last one, breathe it in. Very nice. And breathe it out as you lower. Bend both knees, set them down onto the earth. Find your tabletop position. If you have your blocks, go ahead and grab your blocks. Don't have them, just keep your hands down onto the mat. Good. From there, walk your blocks, walk your hands just 1 more step forward. Okay, so they're not quite underneath your hips. From there, untuck your toes, and then we're gonna lean our hips forward in space to get our shoulders hovering right over our palms, okay? But you're not in tabletop position. Your hips are nice and inclined, so you're making a slope with your back, okay? From there, you're gonna wrap your elbows so that the bend of your elbows is facing forward towards me, and the bone is facing back towards your hips. Very important. We're gonna work on our chaturanga. So start by pulling in your lower belly nice and tight. Take a deep breath, inhale. As you exhale, you bend the elbows 90 degrees and pull them back towards your rib cage. Inhale, push back up. 2 more like that. Exhale, lower halfway chaturanga. Inhale, you push back up. Last one, exhale, chaturanga. Good, inhale, push back up. Send your hips all the way back towards your heels. Release your head down, find that child's pose. You have your blocks, keep your hands nice and elevated, stretch out those triceps. Otherwise, try to wiggle your fingertips a little bit forward. 1 more round of breath, deep breath, inhale. Good, as you exhale, let's come all the way forward and work on that 1 more time. So, spine nice and long, belly pulled in nice and tight, wrap your elbows, very important, stay as you are, just look at me. When you bend your elbows don't flay out to the side. They're gonna pull back towards your hips, so they're gonna graze your rib cage, okay? Now, deep breath, inhale, pull in your lower belly. Here we go, exhale, lower halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, push back up. I'll demo without blocks as well. And then exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, push back up. Last one, exhale. Good, inhale, push back up and send your hips back towards your heels. Option, you can release a hold of those hands on your blocks. Bend your elbows so that your palms come together to touch. Release your forehead down And then you're going to carry your prayer back to the nape of your neck. And then if it feels comfortable, you can walk your elbows a little bit further away from you. Good. Deep breath, inhale. And exhale. One more round like that. Breathe it in. As you exhale, reach your hands all the way forward. Good. If you have your blocks, set your blocks off to the side. Now, keep yourself nice and elevated. Push your shoulders away from you. And then we're going to lean our hips forward. Take a deep breath. Inhale. As you exhale, bend your elbows 90 degrees. Chaturanga elbows hugging in. And let's lower all the way down to the mat. Beautiful. So your hands should be back by your shoulders. Pull your elbows in towards your side. Squeeze your shoulder blades together to touch. And as you inhale, we're going to lift up. Find our baby cobra. Exhale, release the forehead back down. 2 more. Inhale, snake your spine forward. Find that cobra. Exhale, release. Last one. Deep breath, inhale. Good. Exhale, release all the way back down. Push against your hands. Find that tabletop, tuck your toes, and lift your hips right away. Find that downward facing dog. Deep breath, inhale. And exhale. Good. As you inhale, go ahead, bend your knees, find that tabletop position. And then as you exhale, take your hips forward, bend your knees, and then pull your heels towards your glutes, wrap your elbows. And let's exhale, lower, chaturanga all the way down to the mat. Inhale, lower your feet, lift your heart, find that cobra. Exhale, release back down. Deep breath, inhale, find your tabletop position. Exhale, tuck your toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog. We breathe it in. We breathe it out. One more round, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, bend your knees, find that tabletop position. Exhale, carry your hips forward, heels towards your glutes, wrap your elbows. Deep breath, inhale, pull in your belly. And exhale, chaturanga down to the mat. Deep breath, inhale, lift your heart, find that cobra. Exhale, you release. Inhale, find your tabletop position. Exhale, touch toes, downward facing dog. Breathe in. And out. One more inhale. And exhale. Last round like that. Inhale, bend your knees, tabletop position. Exhale, carry your hips forward, heels towards your glutes. Wrap those elbows back. Deep breath, inhale, pull in your belly. And exhale, chaturanga down to the earth. Deep breath, inhale, cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, find that tabletop. Exhale, tuck toes and find downward facing dog. Well done. Soften your knees. Gaze comes forward towards the top of your mat. Step or hop your way all the way forward. And let's just find that Uttanasana forward fold. So go ahead, take your hands back behind you, interlock your fingers, and then you're going to straighten out your arms any amount, but don't lock out your elbows. So option, your fists can be back towards your hips. They can be reaching up to the ceiling, or if you're starting to feel really open in those rotator cuffs today, you can start to carry them forward, forward, forward towards your head. Whatever feels good. Have a little bit of freedom of movement in your neck. Just allow it to sway in little circles, maybe from side to side, whatever feels good. Might like to play with almost shrugging your shoulders up towards the ceiling and then releasing them back down. It's good to get a little bit of movement that feels good for your body. Take a deep breath, inhale. The cat decided to join us today. Sorry. And a deep breath. Exhale, you're going to release your hands and then scoop your hands in front of you and grab a hold of opposite elbows. From there, go ahead, if it feels good, you can sway the torso a little bit from side to side. Nod your head yes. And shake your head no. Good. One more round like that. Inhale. Very nice. As you exhale, release your fingertips back down to the earth. Soften your knees, tuck your tailbone. As we inhale, we're going to roll up our spine. Reach our arms out and up, above, palms together to touch. Exhale, slide our hands through heart center. Good, deep breath, inhale, scoop your arms, rise them above, palms come to touch. Exhale, take a big dive over your legs and find your forward fold. Inhale, slide your hands to your shins, and let's find that flat back. Stay here for a moment. Pull in your lower belly, send that energy out from your tailbone through the crown of your head. Nice long line of energy. Good, one more breath in. As you exhale, just take that forward fold. Let's try that 2 more times. Inhale, roll through your spine. Head comes up last, half lift. Exhale, forward fold and release. Last time, deep breath, inhale. Very nice. Exhale, release back down. This time, root from the ground up as you rise. Deep breath, inhale. And exhale, hands through heart center. Let's salute that sun. Deep breath, inhale, rise it, hands up above. And exhale, dive it all the way down, Uttanasana. Inhale, hands to shins, half lift. Exhale, forward fold and release. We breathe in as we rise it up to standing, palms come to touch. Exhale, hands through heart center. Breathe it in, get nice and tall. Breathe it out and dive over your legs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale and fold. Breathe in, rise nice and tall. Exhale, hands through heart center. Last time, make it more about the breath than the movement. Breathe it in and breathe it out. Inhale, half lift. Exhale and fold. Breathe in, get nice and tall. Exhale, hands through heart center, Tadasana. Adding on, deep breath, inhale, rise our hands up above. Long exhale, you fold over your body. Inhale, slide your hands to your shins, half lift. Exhale, fold it back down. Plant your palms. Inhale, step your left leg all the way back. Exhale, step your right leg all the way back. Find your plank pose, top of a push-up. Take a deep breath, inhale. As you exhale, lower your knees down to tabletop. Inhale, send your hips forward. Heels towards your glutes, wrap your elbows. Exhale, chaturanga down to the earth. Inhale, lower your heels, lift your heart, cobra pose. Maybe come up a little bit taller. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale to your tabletop. Exhale, tuck toes, lift hips. Downward facing dog. Good, take a deep breath, inhale. And a deep breath, exhale. Soften your knees, gaze comes forward. Take a giant step with your left leg and a giant step with your right. Exhale and forward fold. Deep breath, inhale, let's rise it up to standing. Get nice and tall, look above. Exhale, hands through heart center. Right away, inhale, hands sweep up. And exhale, dive all the way back down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale and fold. Plant your palms. Step your right leg all the way back. And exhale, step your left leg all the way back. Inhale, nice strong plank pose. Pull in your belly. Exhale, lower your knees down to the earth. Inhale, hips forward, heels towards your glutes. Wrap elbows as you exhale. Chaturanga, remember elbows towards your ribcage, nice and tight. Good, inhale, lower your legs, lift your heart. Exhale, release back down. Inhale, find your tabletop pose. Exhale, tuck toes and downward facing dog. Deep breath, inhale. And exhale. Soften your knees, gaze comes forward. Inhale, take a giant step with your right leg. And exhale, giant step with your left, fold it all the way down. Deep breath, inhale, rise it all the way on up to standing, palms touch. Exhale, hands through heart center. Step your feet together, hands towards your hips. Left leg, take a giant step back. Mind your blanket if it's there. And let's find that warrior two. Good, so in warrior two, your back arch is intersecting with your front ankle. So it's like you're standing on that tightrope, knee right above your ankle, and then have your knee tracking with your toes. Don't allow it to collapse inside or start to drift out. So nice and in line with your foot, and then open up your arms nice and wide. Good. Take a moment, just shrug your shoulders up towards your ears, pull your shoulders back in space, and then melt your shoulders down with that. Good. Just make sure there's no crunching up there whatsoever. If it feels okay on your neck, your gaze is traveling past your fingertips. Otherwise, keep them towards the side of your mat. Let's breathe. Deep breath, inhale. And exhale. One more round, breathe in. And breathe it out. As you inhale, flip your front palm. Reach it forward with the torso. Exhale, tilt back, and reverse your warrior. Back hand comes to your thigh or your calf. Just avoid that knee. Good. Spiral your heart up towards the sky. As you inhale, take the deepest breath in right here at your side lungs. Good. As you exhale, cartwheel your hands all the way down to the mat. Pick up your back heel. Find that lunge. Inhale. As you exhale, lower your left knee down to the mat. Untuck your toes and carry your hips forward in space. Very nice. Now, if you have your blocks, go ahead and grab a hold of them. Take them on whatever height feels good. I'm going to take mine on my highest height and then start to lift up my torso a little bit more. But I don't carry out of the hips. The hips stay nice and heavy and driving forward. So I really get into that psoas, the hip flexor, even a bit of the glutes on the left side. Very nice. Wherever you are, take one more deep round of breath. And exhale, we're going to go ahead and start to carry your hips all the way back. I'll demo the deepest pose first. You're going to take your hips all the way back and sit on top of your left glutes to fold and flex over your right toes. We're not there today. Go ahead and just stay lifted, okay? Hands can be down on the mat. You can keep a soft bend in that knee. And then if you have those blocks, this is a really good opportunity to stay nice and lifted. The most important thing is that your right foot stays super nice and active, pulling back towards you. And your right kneecap is active. It's flexed. It's pulling back towards your hip. Good. And then just try to fold down as much as you can. Take one more big round of breath. We're going to breathe it in. Good. As you exhale, go ahead, bend out both knees. And then we're going to go ahead, release your blocks forward to the top of your mat. And we're all going to lift our arms. Find that Anjaneyasana. Release your shoulders down your back. Almost this like bend in your elbows, nice and wide. Good. Deep breath, inhale. And exhale. One more round, inhale. Very nice. As you exhale, bring your hands together to touch in prayer and then carry your prayer down towards your heart. Take a big twist from the navel and you're going to hook your left elbow to the outside of your right knee, finding that twist. Go ahead, take a big push down with your right hand, twisting from the navel. Deep breath, inhale. And exhale. One more round like that, breathe it in. Very nice. As you exhale, go ahead, release both hands all the way down to the mat. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, inhale. As you exhale, we're gonna hop it all the way forward towards the top of your mat and find that forward fold. Make sure your blocks are out of the way if you have them. Inhale, take a big rise all the way up to standing. Palms come together to touch. Exhale, hands through heart center and towards our hips. Feet together to touch. This time right leg, giant step back and find that warrior two. Good. Stay as you are. Just flip around so you can see me. So take that time to just get those adjustments in your legs. Make sure that they're nice and aligned. The more aligned you are in this pose, the more stronger you'll become. And see if maybe your range of motion might be a little bit too narrow, right? You don't want to make it too easy for yourself. So, challenge, see if you can maybe hop that front foot a little bit further from you. So then you got to get a deeper bend in that knee to stack it. And right away, I can feel my thighs starting to warm up. Whatever feels good. You control how deep you want to go in the poses today. What variation feels good for you. But what we're all unified with is the breath. Deep breath, inhale. And exhale. Breathe it in. And out. Let's do one more. Breathe it in. And a long breath out. Exhale. Very nice. Inhale, flip your front palm. Let's reach forward with that torso. Reach for something big. Exhale, tilt back. Reverse your warrior. Good. Now sometimes the tendency you start to drift out of that front knee. No, keep that bend. Good. One more round. Inhale. Very nice. As you exhale, cartwheel your hands all the way down to the mat. Let me spin around so you can see me. Very nice. Plant your palms down onto the earth, and we're simply going to drop our right knee down, untuck our toes, and lean our hips forward into space. Good. If you did so on side one, grab a hold of those blocks for side two. We want to keep even on both parts of our body, so whichever variation you have, stick with that. Good. We inhale. And exhale. One more round in. Good. And out. Go ahead. As you breathe it in this time, we're going to carry our hips all the way back and take what variation you had on side one again. Okay? So maybe you went all the way down, maybe you're lifted, maybe you have those blocks. But what's very important is that toes on those left sides are really pulling back towards your forehead. Your kneecap is really active and sliding up towards your hip bone. So the front of your thigh of your left side should be nice and strong, nice and tight. If you touched it, it's like a rock. There you go. One more round of breath. Let's inhale. And exhale. Breathe it in. And out. Good. Inhale. And as we exhale, go ahead, bend out both knees. Set your blocks off to the side if you have you. And everyone, lift your arms, Anjaneyasana. And relax your shoulders. We breathe in. We breathe out. So feel the rooting down of your legs, the lifting up of your arms up to the sky. Body nice and strong. Deep breath in. As we exhale, palms come together to touch and slide your prayer through heart center. Starting the twist from the navel, keeping your hips as they are. And then you're going to take your right elbow this time to the outside of your thigh. You start to push down with your top hand, twisting a little bit more. Deep breath in. And out. One more round. Inhale. Good. As you exhale, unravel. Take both hands down to the mat. Tuck back toes, lift back knee. Deep breath. Inhale. Exhale, hop all the way forward. Top of your mat. Inhale, rise it all the way up to standing, palms come together to touch. Exhale, slide hands through heart center. We're gonna marry everything together, just a little bit of a different sequence. Starting, inhale, rise your arms up above, nice deep breath, and exhale, big fold over your body, Uttanasana. Inhale, hands to shins, half lift. Exhale, release and plant your palms. Inhale, left leg steps back, and exhale, right leg steps back. Inhale into your plank pose. Exhale, find your tabletop. Inhale, hips lean forward, heels towards your glutes, wrap elbows, and exhale, chaturanga down to the earth. Good. Inhale, release your legs, lift your heart, find that cobra pose. Exhale, release back down. Inhale, push against the ground, find that tabletop position, and exhale, tuck toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, go ahead, lift your left leg up and back behind you. Exhale, bend your knee, carry your knee forward, and step in between your hands. Release your back heel down to the earth, and lift all the way up, finding that warrior two. Good, breathe it in. And out. One more round, breathe it in. Good, and out. Inhale, flip your front palm, reach it forward with that torso. Exhale, tilt back, reverse your warrior. Deep breath, inhale all the way down your side body. Right away, exhale, carry your leg, arms all the way down towards center. Drop your back right knee. Inhale, lean your hips all the way forward. Sending those hips towards the top of your mat. Good. One more round, inhale. And as we exhale, carry your hips all the way back. Flex your toes, option come all the way down or stay lifted. Deep breath, inhale, feel that length along the left side. And exhale. Inhale, bend your knees. Sweep your arms all the way forward and up, Anjaneyasana. And exhale. One more round, breathe it in. Exhale, palms come together to touch and carry your palms down through heart center. Deep breath, inhale. Exhale, twist from the navel, elbow outside your thigh. Good. Push with your top hand. Take your torso towards the side. And exhale, release both hands down to center. Inhale, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Exhale, giant step forward towards the top of your mat as you fold down. Deep breath, inhale, rise it all the way up to standing. Palms come to touch. Exhale, hands through heart center. Last round, we breathe in, we reach up. We breathe out and we fold. Good. Inhale, half lift. Exhale and release. Plant your palm. Right leg steps all the way back. Left leg steps all the way back. Deep breath, inhale into your plank. Exhale, release your knees and tabletop. Inhale, hips carry forward, heels towards your glutes. Wrap your elbows and exhale, chaturanga, elbows back towards your hips. Inhale, release your legs, lift your heart. See if you can come up nice and high. Exhale, release back down. Inhale, push to your tabletop. Exhale, tuck toes, lift those hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts all the way up and back behind you. Exhale, you bend your knee, you carry it all the way forward. Step in between your hands. Spin your back heel down to the earth and unravel your arms. Find that strong warrior. Good. Breathe it in. And out. One more round. Inhale. Good. And exhale. Inhale, flip your front palm. Reach it forward with your torso. Exhale, tilt back, reverse your warrior. Biggest breath in. Side lunge. Send it out. And exhale, cartwheel your hands all the way down to your mat. Pick up your back heel and drop your left knee. We carry our hips forward. We lift our heart. Good. Inhale. And exhale. One more. Breathe in. As we breathe out, we carry our hips back. We flex our right toes. Option to stay lifted or maybe come all the way down. 2 breaths in and out. Last one. Inhale. Good. As we exhale, we bend our knees. We lift our arms. Find that Anjaneyasana. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Breathe in. As we breathe out, palms come together to touch and slide your hands through heart center. Deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. Twist from the navel. Hooking your elbow to the outside of your thigh. Push down with your top hand. And try to get your prayer this time to the middle of your sternum. We have one more round of breath in. Good. As we breathe it out, take both hands all the way back to center. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Inhale. As you exhale, hop it all the way forward, top of your mat, and find that forward fold. Deep breath, inhale, rise all the way up to standing, palms touch. Exhale, hands through heart center. Good. Hope you feel nice and warm. That was a lot of work. Go ahead, take your hands towards your hips, feet together to touch, working on our tree pose, a balance pose. So if you'd like to have that ball, go ahead, grab hold of it. We're going to start on our right side. I'll mirror you. Pick up your right heel, externally rotate out the right leg. Very important with your hands on your hips. Try not to get that lazy teen hip, right? Keep your tailbone tucked deeply underneath you so that our joints are nice and protected. From there, we're going to lift up our right leg, maybe to our ankle, maybe to the calf. If you have it in your practice, you're going to grab a hold of your foot and lift it above the knee, right? So we're not on that joint. And then you can push your foot and your thigh in towards one another. Whatever variation you're at, as long as you feel safe and comfortable, it's the right pose. Good. Hands maybe towards your heart center if you're feeling strong. And let's breathe here in this space. Deep breath, inhale. And exhale. We breathe in. We breathe out. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Option to stay here, or you're going to reach your fingertips up to the sky. Grow the limbs of your tree. Test that balance. You got this. Deep breath in. Good. As you exhale, carry your knee forward, and then you're going to hook your right foot before the left. Your foot is down onto the earth. Just your legs are crossed. Inhale, push your palms together to touch up above your head. As you exhale, flip your palms. Take a big dive over yourself and find that forward fold. Good. So it feels a little bit different. You're getting deeply into those calves. If you need to bend out your knees, go ahead and do so. We're here for one more big round of breath. Inhale. Very nice. As you exhale, go ahead, unhook your feet, set them hip width distance apart. And then go ahead, bend out your knees, send your hips back behind you, and lift your arms, find that chair pose, Uttanasana. Take a quick glance down at your toes, make sure you can see them. Relax your shoulders down your back. You can have a bend in those elbows. We're just here for one more round of breath. We got this. Deep breath in. As you exhale, go ahead, straighten both legs and palms come together to touch at heart center. Feet together, hands at hips, left side. Go ahead, lift up your left heel, externally rotate, and take whatever variation you'd like. So balance poses come with all their challenges. They shift from day to day. Some days you feel nice and strong. Some days you're like, whew, it's a little breezy in here today. But take it on your own time. But let's breathe. We inhale. We exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Last one, inhale. Very nice. And exhale. Staying here, or try to reach your fingertips. You fall out of the pose, that's okay. Challenge yourself. Good. Deep breath in. As you exhale, carry your knee forward, and then you're going to step your left foot to the outside edge of your right, so you're crossing your legs. Look up above, your palms come together to touch. Exhale, take that big dive over your body. Good, and forward fold. Deep breath in. And out. One more round, inhale. And exhale, fold. Good. Go ahead, soften out both of your knees. Step your feet out nice and wide. Take an inhale, slide your hands to your shins. Last half lift. Exhale, fold it all the way back down. Plant your palms. Good. Let's step it back for a plank pose just for a round of breath. Inhale. Very nice. As you exhale, lower your knees down to the earth. And we're going to go ahead, swivel our legs forward in front of us. I'm going to sit on top of our blankets. Good. Have your blocks at the ready by your hips if you have them. No blocks, no problem. Go ahead, bend both feet. Set your feet down onto the earth. Nice deep bend into your knees. Hands come back behind you. And then walk them pretty far back so that you have some space between your torso and your legs. I'm going to tent my fingertips so that my palms are nice and lifted. Feel a little bit more active in those arms. As I lean back, all we're going to do is take a hold of our right leg, flexing the right foot, and finding a figure four stretch. Okay? So your right knee is pushing far away from you. Foot is nice and flat to protect your knee joint. And now it's all a matter of play. Okay, depends on how your hips are feeling for today. You start to see if you can walk your hands a little bit closer towards your legs. You might still be back here, that's fine. If you're back here though, the only thing is keep your spine nice and active. So you're not collapsing around and down, right? Nice and active. You're really close up towards your legs. Try to work more on carrying your right knee further away from you. Very nice. Deep breath, inhale. And exhale. One more round, breathe it in. As we breathe it out, all you're going to do is carry your right leg towards the left and stamp your right foot down onto the ground. Your left foot is going to carry back towards you, back towards your glutes. From there, inhale, lift your left arm up towards the sky. Exhale, hook your left arm to the outside edge of your right knee. Good. Tense your right fingertips back behind you. Deep breath, inhale, lift your head, your crown of your head up to the sky. Exhale, twist it out from the navel. Good. One more round like that. Breathe it in. And breathe it out as you twist. Inhale, let's come all the way back to center. Walk your hands back behind you. And then extend both legs nice and long. Sliding your legs so your feet are crossed again. So your right foot, your right ankle should be on top of the left, just like we did before in that forward fold. Have your blocks handy if you have them. Inhale, lift your arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, let's carry that torso all the way forward towards our legs. Good. If you have your blocks, this is a little bit too challenging. You can take your blocks any height by your sides and then place the back of your elbows. Try to keep your spine nice and lifted though, okay? No blocks, no problem. You can't fold over your legs. 10 fingertips by your side, same thing. No collapsing, nice and lifted. Toes stay active, flexing back towards you. We have one more round of breath. Inhale. And as you exhale, go ahead, roll all the way up your spine. Take your hands to the undersides of your knees and then slide them back towards you. Your feet are still crossed. From there, lift both shins in line with your legs. Good. Option, stay here. Make sure your spine is nice and active. Or play. Last challenge. See if you can reach your fingertips towards your toes. Deep breath in. And out. Last one, inhale. Good. As you exhale, uncross your legs, plant them down onto the earth. Hands come back behind you. Tense your fingertips or palms flat. Walk your hands back. Nice bit of room between your torso and your legs. And we'll take all of that on the left side. Good. So this is your time. Feel it out. Both hip bones are different, right? We all carry our bodies in different positions, different gaits, different ways of walking. So some people might have tighter left sides, tighter right sides. Let's be aware and take your time as we go into these stretches. If you're very deep in that pose, though, you start to play with allowing that knee to travel further away from you. But wherever we are, we're not rounding that spine, right? Good. Last round of breath, just here. Inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to carry both legs over towards the right. Stamp your left foot down onto the earth, and then bend your other foot, carrying it back towards your hip bones. Okay? Deep breath, inhale, lift your right arm up to the sky, tense your left fingertips back behind you, and then exhale, hook your elbow to the outside of your left knee. Inhale, let's lift our heart up to the sky. And exhale, twist it out from the navel. Good. Breathe it in. And then last one, inhale. Good. As you exhale, unravel, come all the way back to center. Walk your hands back behind you. And then you're going to slide your legs all the way forward. And then once again, your ankles are crossed. And your left ankle now is stacked on top of the right. Good. Deep breath, inhale, scoop those arms all the way forward. Long breath out, exhale. You fold over your legs. Whatever variation you had, with props, without props, active spine, and see if you can carry yourself all the way down over your legs. Good. The most important thing as we stay in these poses is that we keep our feet nice and active. Deep breath, inhale. And exhale. Last round, breathe in. And out. Good. Inhale. Exhale, go ahead, roll all the way up your spine. Take your hands to the undersides of our knees. Start to slide your legs in closer towards you. Straighten out your spine nice and tall. Rooting down from the tailbone, up through the crown of your head. And we're going to lift our legs in line with our knees. Good. Staying here. Or fingertips might reach forward. Good. Deep breath, inhale. Exhale. Both pose nice and strong. Last one, inhale. Good, and exhale. Go ahead, unhook your legs. See if you can stay extended. Maybe wiggle out your fingertips. Good, deep breath, inhale. As you exhale, how slow can you go? Can you extend your legs? Can you reach for your toes? Can you hover, 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 hover? And go ahead, collapse and let that go. Very good. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Take a gentle rocking from side to side. Roll out your ankles. Very nice. From there, if you have your blanket, just rock up to sitting really quick. Grab a hold of your blanket. Double it up one more so that it's nice and high. If you have your blocks handy. I'll demo that later on. All you're going to do is you're going to take your sacrum, the flat part of your back, and lay on top of that blanket. Knees could be bent or knees extended. If your knees are extended, you're going to feel a little bit more in the top of those hip bones, front sides. If they're bent, you'll simply have more support, and it'll work on getting your tailbone lengthening towards the top of the mat. You'll feel that space growing in the lower spine. You have blocks, okay? You have blocks, your knees are bent, the soles of your feet are planted down onto the earth, and then you're gonna lift up your hips. Take your block on its flattest part, okay? So the lowest side, and then you're gonna slide that block towards your sacrum, the flat part of your back. Very important. You want to make sure that that block is not slid too far forward, so it's in the curve of your spine. It's not going to feel good. So make sure it's back towards your tailbone. We're going to stay here for our Shavasana, the final pose of our class. So make sure that you feel very nice and comfortable. Whichever props you're using. No props, no problem. You can go ahead and just take traditional Shavasana laying down on the mat. Go ahead, get nice and comfortable. And start to breathe. Close your eyes if you haven't already. And allow your breath to flow nice and smooth. If you have a block underneath your body, push against your heels, lift your hips, remove that block, set it off to the side. Keeping your eyes closed, wherever you are, block or no block, go ahead and roll on over onto either side. Take a deep breath, inhale, and exhale. Eyelids stay heavy. Just simply rise up into a comfortable seated position. Whatever that means for you today. Just root down through your sit bones, lift up through the crown of your head. Take one hand on top of your heart. Take your other hand, place it on top of your hand. Gently tuck your chin down towards your chest. Bowing down to your practice, bowing down to your body. Take a deep breath, inhale. And exhale. palms come together to touch. The light in me bows down to the light in you. Namaste. Thank you very much, yogis. Thank you so much.